because gold are the tears of God. Human beings know intuitively, instinctively, that it's real, it's God's money. And so that's why I get up and I sound like some evangelist, gold and silver are God's money. I'm going, but I've seen it. So there's something mysterious about gold, silver, and Bitcoin. What does that mean to you?
It was part of Earth when Earth was formed, right? Yeah. Those are all of the, some of the metals and materials that were made when the Earth was formed, and it's limited.
Right.
Unlike a paper dollar, there's only so much gold, so much silver, so much platinum in the ground that we can pull out. So I think that's really, when I think about gold being around, for 5,000 years, I think people were as excited to find gold as they were about Bitcoin and Ethereum that you're talking about now. Back then, gold probably sounded much like, Bitcoin. Hey, we were using shells and rocks and trading food back and forth, and now we have this money that only has this limited supply, and it stood the test of time. I mean, 5,000 years, no other currency in the world has ever lasted that long.
And that's sort of the theory behind Bitcoin. It's only 21 million coins, so it's a limited supply.
Right.
Is that your understanding? Because I own Bitcoin, but I'm not good at that either. So.
Yeah, 21 million coins. There's probably a couple million that have been lost and people losing their password. So it's probably even a little bit less. So hold on to your password, right? But same concept, limited supply. I mean, you've written fantastic books about real estate. Can't build any more real estate, can't make any more gold, but they can sure print a heck of a lot of dollars.
People say gold is a barbaric relic. Where does that come from?
Well,
it's true. It's old as the earth.
Yeah. When they say it's old, it is. It's, we can go back 5,000 years when people first started using it as money. And I think that's really, what it is. We buy a new watch, and in 4 years, we're, not happy with it. The day we purchased it, we were thrilled with it. And 4 years later, we want a new watch or a new car or what have you. I think people believe that this thing, gold, that's been around this long, can be replaced by paper, and it can be replaced by, digital things, but it still has stood this test of time. And the central banks are holding it. The JP Morgans are holding it. Why are they holding it? Because they know it's going to be around another 5,000 years.
Well,
I don't know if Bitcoin will be around.
Well, the reason I know this is because I've actually traveled the world looking for, I've been to Argentina, bought a silver mine out there. But the thing that really convinced me was I went to Peru in 1989, I think, whatever it was. And I'm standing in the Andes, and I was about at 14,000 feet. I was passing out because I couldn't even breathe. And I look on this mountainside, and I see these little holes going up the mountainside. And so I asked the guide, I call him the little Inca, he's Peruvian. So what was that? He says, that was the Inca, or the indigenous people at that time, looking for gold and silver.
Right.
And I went, so this is before telegraph, this is before internet. What were these guys who are primitive people with no information from the outside world? They're as isolated as they can be, but they were tracking this vein going up this mountain. He says, and this other guy, he was a priest, he says, because gold are the tears of God. Human beings know intuitively, instinctively, that it's real, it's God's money. And so that's why I get up and I sound like some evangelist, gold and silver are God's money. I'm going, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
And I said, these Inca or indigenous people are looking for gold way up in the mountains. And I'm going, why is that? At the same time, they were doing the same thing all over the world.
All over the world. That's
and
right.
Before there was radio, television, TV, all that stuff, they're already doing it. Then I go to Mongolia, this place called the Checkerboard. They're doing the same thing. They had little holes all over the place. And I'm going, well, were the Mongolians communicating to the Peruvians? I don't think so. So there's something mysterious about gold, silver, and Bitcoin, because I sincerely believe that everybody should have some real gold, silver, and Bitcoin in their portfolio that they control. The word is control. And the reason gold, silver, and Bitcoin are similar, or cryptos, is because of the limited supply. And the supplies are getting more limited, and as the worlds get more dangerous, gold and silver become more scarce because more and more bankers are holding on to it. But also, for some reason, gold and silver are always deposited in the most dangerous places on earth, in dangerous countries. So all of these are factors that go into when I sit on Lair Capital and Fox Television and I say, I buy silver. There's a reason for it, and not because I'm getting compensated. One big reason I recommend silver is, as Kevin already mentioned, not too long ago in the 80s, silver was $50 an ounce. And gold was like $800. Today, gold is at $1,800, but silver is now $25 an ounce. And silver is an industrial metal. It means it's used in batteries, solar, all this stuff, and there's less of it. So when I say silver at $25 an ounce, that's like saying Apple at $50 a share, or Bitcoin at $3,000 a share. That's how I look at it. Eventually, we don't save dollars. We use debt for money. We borrow. We buy real estate, and the cash flow is shifted into gold and silver.
Right.
And what happened was, pretty soon the gold and silver pile got so big, we had to go look for professional storage facilities. Can you explain that service?
Sure. So a couple of different places. Like you said, if you have a small amount, you can easily store that at home, especially gold. The second thing people do is go get a safety deposit box. So safety deposit boxes, the entire time I've been doing this, I've never seen anyone lose their valuables from their safety deposit box. And once you outgrow your safety deposit box, then there's a few firms that I trust that do a great job. One is Brinks, and they have some locations in California, Utah, New York, and other places in the country. And then a company called Delaware Depository, which is what the government uses for the backing of physical metals for futures contracts. So their security is extremely high, similar to Brinks. Their fees run about 0.3% per year on the value of the metal. So that's what you would expect to pay.
And the thing that I liked about gold, when I was traveling the world, a lot of people carried gold because gold is flight capital. You can spend it anywhere. You know what I mean?
That's right.
No matter where you go in the world, somebody will take it. Is that true? And silver.
That's right. We tell people, look, you can't take your stock or your real estate and go anywhere in the world. A diamond you can, hard to value, but a piece of gold has the same value basically everywhere in the world. I mean, it's denominated in US dollars, so it's fairly easy to figure out what the gold is worth and then convert it over to whatever currency you're going to be at. Everywhere in the world, gold is the exact same price. So easy to store, easy to kind of move around.
I was in Singapore, and I went to this private air terminal, and this private jet comes piling up. The door opens, and these boxes, green and gold boxes, start coming off. And I asked a Jewish guy from the Israeli, it's an Israeli company. I said, "What are you guys doing?" He says, "Gold flies in from all over the world."
Oh yeah.
In their jets, and they just store it here. I'm going, holy. Do you know what I mean? You go, I thought I saw Jesus or something. Like, holy mackerel, these guys have that much gold and silver hiding? And so that was a whole nother educational process for Kim and myself. Where do the rich hide their gold and silver? And I'll tell you what, it ain't in America.
Yeah, a lot of Swiss banks, the old Swiss, Israel, all over the world. It's amazing what people do with their precious metals. Bury in their backyard, to store it off in a Swiss bank. We've seen it all.
Yeah. So anyway, with Rich Dad would like people to dream big. So dream, one day your jet taxiing up, door opens, and your gold and silver gets stuffed in a vault someplace else in the world. Then you've made the big time.